Your sensei died? That means you're the master, right? Hi everyone, welcome back to another Scotty Karate video. So today we're going to be talking about something that hopefully you haven't gone through, but does happen. And something that you might think about, or if it is happening to you, maybe it's something you're going through. Let's see if I can help. So there's a scenario that happens, and the good news is it's rare. Bad news is it kind of throws your life in disarray. So what am I talking about? Well, when you're in a dojo, when you're in a martial art for any extended amount of time, you become very attached to the dojo itself, the building, the people, and of course, your sensei, right? Your teacher, your instructors. Well, sometimes, in rare cases, that person passes away, right? They've had something happen, car accident, whatever, doesn't matter, but something has happened. Now, the dojo's gone, right? Because if it is their dojo, unless they plan for this, which most people don't, let's be honest, you're just out on the street. I mean, there's nothing to say about that. Now, little less morbid version of that is the most common version. And that's simply the dojo failed, right? So you have a new enthusiastic sensei. He's like, yeah, just got my, say second degree black belt. Now I'm going to open up my own dojo and I'm going to do this. It's going to be awesome. And then reality hits, and they didn't plan for it to be a year and a half before they actually started making any money while teaching. That all factors in. After you're paying your rent for your rent space, electricity, water, so forth. It gets very expensive very quick. Well, everybody knows you have to build up. You don't just open a dojo and the next week you have 100 students. It takes many years to get there. But you'd be surprised how many people start off, they're doing well, and even if they are successful for a certain amount of time. And then something happens, and then you have to close down. You go bankrupt for whatever reason, what have you. Now your dojo's done. What do? Well, the hard answer is you have to move on. I know it sucks, but you have to. So the good news is a lot of schools have associations, or they are part of a bigger chain. So for example, if you're part of Goju Ryu, you can pretty well go to any other Goju Ryu school in the area, and most of them most likely, unless there's some issues there, most likely will take you in and you keep your rank. You just have to start over with new people, not necessarily start over as a martial artist. But unless you live in a major metropolitan area where there's 10 Goju Ryu schools in the area, real talk, you're going to a different style. Even worse than that, you're probably putting a white belt back on. It's not the end of the world. It does happen. I have a video on it. If you have a chance to check it out, you should, on what happens when you start a new school and you have experience. Well, this is that time. You had experience, no matter how long it's been. I don't care if you've been there a year, 10 years. You now move on, right? You have to find someplace else to train. You might not be able to bring it with you. Some schools allow it, some schools don't. If they're a sister style, they might just kind of catch you up to speed on the differences in your forms, but reality is you might just have to straight up take a completely different sport, different style, or understand you're walking as a white belt, you have to build yourself back up. Not a big deal, but these things happen, okay? First and foremost, understand that when this happens to you, don't stress. I can't say this enough because it's so easy to get just internalized. Just, why? If we would have just done X thing different, it's just not how it works, unfortunately. But what you do is you then move on. If you do have any connections in the dojo, any other instructors or what have you, say the instructor's still alive, you can actually reach out to them, and a lot of times they have associations with other dojos. They've, professional courtesies, they've talked to them, they've been to tournaments, they've been to whatever. They'll have recommendations for you, like, oh, yeah, well, if you would like to keep something similar to us, you should go to blah, blah, blah. This Ishinryu school down the street's very close, you should check it out, so on and so forth. So there's always a way to progress, but you have to keep an open mind, understand the situation sucks, but it does happen. Now, with that, there is a few things. One, you will have to start over. So we've already talked about that, most likely. Two, because you're going to a different style, they might do things a little different than you. Keep an open mind. So if their front kick, taking it very basic, but their front kick is different than yours, maybe they choose to hit with the ball of the foot instead of the heel, you have to learn. Just think of it as another tool in your toolbox. You're learning it. Learn their version. There might be a reason why. They might even be open to learning your version. Depends on the school, depends on the instructor. The last one is just out flat, changing styles entirely. So for example, if you've been karate your entire life, you've been doing karate for so long, one of these tragedies happens where you're no longer able to train at your dojo. They move, the instructor moves to a different state, happens all the time, job transfers you, you're done. Well, what do you do now? My cross-trained. Say, hey, you know what? We focused a lot on kicks, but my upper is just not as crisp as I'd like it to be. I'm going to check out the boxing gym down the street.
I'm ready for your lame-ass karate this time. It's not lame-ass karate. It's Cobra Kai.
Boom. What are you going to do? Get better? So, to summarize, I hope none of this has happened to you. It is not fun, and I've seen quite a few people go through it. Lots of people walk through the door of my dojo with this exact story. Their place, closed down. There was a tornado that hit. There was, whatever it may be that caused that school to stop. Now they're looking for a new place. A lot of time it's from a different style because they're wanting to branch out and learn something new. Fantastic. But it does happen. Just know you can do it. Just keep going, keep moving forward, stay positive. Hope you liked the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell in the corner so you know my videos are posted each week. And as always, the more you train, easier the fight.